Welcome to a place of stillness on Voice of Compassion. Imagine sitting under a great banyan tree. The air is calm, the mind is clear. But then, a storm arrives. Not of rain, but of words. Tonight, we invite you to witness a meeting between great anger and great peace. Through this ancient story, we will learn the secret of emotional freedom, the power of not accepting what harms us. Relax your shoulders, breathe deeply, and let your spirit rest in the story of the gift of insults. Story 6, the gift of insults. Part 1, the interruption plus the insults introduction, a peaceful gathering. The day was warm and quiet. A soft wind moved through tall trees and sunlight fell in gentle pieces on the ground, like gold leaves. Birds called from far branches, then went silent again. The air smelled of dry grass and a little incense. Under the shade of a wide banyan tree, a gathering had formed. People sat on the earth in a loose circle. Some were farmers with rough hands. Some were merchants with tired eyes. Some were mothers holding sleeping children. Some were old men leaning on wooden sticks. And among them sat the Buddha. He sat on a simple cloth mat. His robe was plain, a calm color like sand. His posture was straight, but not stiff. His hands rested lightly in his lap. His face looked peaceful, as if it carried no hidden war. Around him sat his disciples, monks and seekers, listening closely. The Buddha's voice was low and steady. He did not speak like a man trying to win. He spoke like water flowing downhill, natural, patient, clear. He spoke about the mind, how thoughts come and go, how pain grows when we hold it too tightly, how peace begins when we see clearly. As he spoke, many people felt something inside them soften. Some closed their eyes, some breathed more slowly. Some felt tears come for reasons they could not explain, because sometimes, when truth is gentle, the heart finally feels safe enough to release. There was a long moment of silence after one of the Buddha's teachings. A silence so deep that even the leaves seemed to listen. In that silence, the Buddha looked across the circle with calm eyes. Then he said softly, "Notice what is here before you add your story." The people sat still, and the world felt balanced. Then, a loud sound cut through the peace. Footsteps, fast, heavy, angry. The branches shook as someone pushed through the trees. Voices rose from behind the gathering. "What is this? What are you doing here? Move!" Heads turned. The disciples opened their eyes, and then from the path, a man appeared. He looked like a storm walking on two legs. His hair was wild, his face was red, his eyes were sharp with heat. His chest rose and fell like he had been running, or like he was fighting his own breath. His clothes were dusty, his fists were clenched. He did not bow. He did not ask permission. He burst into the circle as if it belonged to him. "You!" he shouted, pointing at the Buddha. The calm air trembled. A few children woke and began to cry softly. Their mothers pulled them close. Several disciples stood up immediately, protective and tense. One disciple, tall and strong, stepped forward. "Sir," he said firmly, "this is a peaceful teaching. If you want to listen, sit down. If not, leave." The man laughed bitterly. "Peaceful?" he shouted. "This is poison." He walked closer, his eyes locked on the Buddha. The Buddha did not move. He did not blink quickly. He did not tighten his face. He simply watched the man with quiet attention, like someone watching a fire from a safe distance. The man's anger grew stronger because it found no resistance. He wanted fear. He wanted a reaction. He wanted power. But the Buddha offered none. "The insults!" The man leaned forward and shouted, "You sit here like you are pure. You act like you know everything. But you are only a man who tricks people with soft words." The disciples' faces tightened. One of them spoke, voice trembling with anger. "Enough," he said. "Show respect." The man turned his head sharply. "Respect?" he snapped. "For this fake holy man." He stepped closer and spat words like stones. "You are a coward," he shouted at the Buddha. "You run from real life. You fill weak minds with dreams." A few people in the crowd looked down, uncomfortable. Some were frightened, some were angry, some wanted to leave, but the Buddha remained still. His eyes stayed gentle, and that gentleness made the man even more furious, because the man felt small beside it. He felt exposed. He raised his voice again, louder. "You teach people to be calm so they will not fight back. You make them quiet so you can control them. You are nothing but a thief, stealing their strength." The disciples could not take it. Several stepped forward at once. One shouted, "Stop speaking!" Another clenched his fists. Another said, "Master, let us remove him." Their anger rose fast, like flames licking dry grass. They were ready to protect the Buddha, ready to throw the man out, ready to answer insult with insult. But then the Buddha lifted one hand, not in fear, not in command, just a calm gesture, like a leaf falling. The disciples froze. The Buddha still did not speak. He simply looked at the angry man. The man's breathing was heavy. He expected the Buddha to defend himself, to explain, to argue, to fight. But the Buddha offered only silence. The man shouted again, voice rough now, "Say something. Are you too holy to answer me? Or are you afraid?" Still, the Buddha did not react. In the quiet that followed, the man's words hung in the air. And something strange happened. Without a fight, the man's anger began to look lonely, like a loud drum in an empty valley. He stood there, chest heaving, waiting for the Buddha to strike back. But the Buddha's calm did not move. It held the space like the sky holds thunder, without becoming thunder. The disciples watched, confused and frustrated. One disciple whispered through clenched teeth, "Why does the Blessed One allow this?" Another murmured, "This man is disrespectful. He deserves punishment." The Buddha heard them, but he remained peaceful. The angry man's eyes darted over the crowd. He saw fear, he saw tension, he saw attention, but he did not see victory, because the Buddha still had not accepted what he offered. The man's voice lowered slightly, but his words stayed sharp. "You think you are above everyone," he said. "You think your silence makes you strong. But you are weak. You are empty." Then he paused, almost hoping those words would finally land, almost hoping the Buddha would show pain. The Buddha's gaze remained soft, and after a long breath, the Buddha finally began to speak. Story 6. The Gift of Insults. Part 2. The Gift. Trad. The Lesson. Pla. Reflection. The lesson, the gift. The Buddha's voice was quiet. So quiet that everyone leaned in without meaning to. It was not a voice trying to defeat a man. It was a voice trying to meet a man. "Friend," the Buddha said gently, "may I ask you a question?" The angry man blinked, surprised by the softness. He had come ready for war, but the Buddha spoke as if offering water. The man's jaw tightened. "What?" he snapped. The Buddha kept his gaze calm. "When you visit someone," the Buddha asked, "and you bring a gift, to whom does the gift belong?" The man frowned. "What kind of question is that?" he said. "A gift belongs to the person who receives it." The Buddha nodded slowly. "Yes," he said, "if they receive it." He paused. "But if they do not receive it, if they refuse it, then to whom does the gift belong?" The man hesitated. The crowd became very still. Even the wind seemed to pause. The man's eyes shifted, as if his anger was searching for an exit. "If they refuse it," he said slowly. Then the gift stays with the giver. The Buddha's expression softened. Yes, he said simply, it stays with the giver. He looked at the man, not with judgment, but with clear compassion. Friend, the Buddha continued, you have offered me many gifts today. The angry man's eyebrows pulled together. Gifts? He repeated. The Buddha nodded. Anger, he said softly. Harsh words. Insults. He let the words rest in the air like leaves floating on water. If I accept them, the Buddha said, they become mine. He placed a hand lightly on his chest. I would carry them, he said. I would suffer them. Then he lowered his hand and looked at the man again. But I do not accept them. The Buddha's voice remained gentle, but his words were clear like a bell. So, he said, they remain with you. For a moment, the angry man did not move. His mouth opened slightly, then closed. His face, still red, began to change. Not because he suddenly became calm, but because something inside him was confused. He had thrown stones and expected bruises, but the stones fell to the ground. He had poured poison and expected pain, but the poison was not drunk. The man's breathing slowed a little. The disciples watched with wide eyes. They expected the Buddha to speak about rules, or to warn, or to command. But instead, the Buddha had spoken about choice, the choice to accept or not accept. The man's voice came out quieter now, almost unsure. So you're saying, my anger is mine? He asked. The Buddha nodded. Yes, he said. The man's hands trembled slightly at his sides. He looked around at the people, at the disciples, at the children, at the Buddha's calm face. Something in him sagged like a tired wall, losing support. But you made me angry, he muttered. The Buddha's eyes stayed gentle. You feel anger, the Buddha said softly, and your mind looks for a place to put it. He paused. Today, he said, you tried to put it on me. The man swallowed. His shoulders dropped a little. You think I came here to hurt you? The man said, voice rough. You think I enjoy this? The Buddha's voice remained calm. I do not know what you enjoy, he said, but I can see you are suffering. Those words landed differently, not like a slap, like truth. The man's eyes tightened, as if holding back something deeper than anger. For a moment, he looked like he might cry. Then his face hardened again, quickly. He looked away. The Buddha continued quietly, with the same steady kindness. Friend, he said, if someone speaks to you with anger, and you accept it, you will carry it. He pointed gently to the ground between them. But if you do not accept it, it falls here. His voice became even softer, and the one who offered it still holds it. The angry man stared at the ground. He was silent. The disciples were silent. The gathering was silent. In that silence, the angry man's breath became more human, less like a storm, more like a man who is tired. After a long moment, he spoke again. His voice was lower. What should I do with it? He asked. With my anger. The Buddha's answer was simple. See it, he said. Hold it gently, and do not give it away. The man looked up. Not give it away? He repeated. The Buddha nodded. Anger given away, he said, becomes anger returned. He looked around at the disciples for a moment. And anger accepted, he said, becomes anger multiplied. Then he returned his gaze to the man, but anger seen becomes understanding. The man stood very still. His chest rose, his chest fell. A long breath escaped him, not a proud breath, a tired one. He looked at the Buddha, and for the first time, his eyes softened. I came here to win, he admitted, almost whispering, to make you small. The Buddha's expression did not change, he only listened. The man's voice shook slightly. "But you didn't fight," he said. "You didn't take anything from me. And somehow, that feels worse." The Buddha nodded. "Because you came to give pain," the Buddha said softly, "and you found no place to put it." The man stood there, quiet, as if he did not know who he was without his anger. At last, he bowed his head, just a little, not perfect, not dramatic, but real. Then he turned and walked away through the trees. His footsteps were slower now. The storm had not vanished completely, but it had lost its center. And the gathering under the banyan tree became peaceful again. The disciples sat down, still processing what they had seen. One disciple whispered, "Master, how could you stay so calm?" The Buddha looked at him with gentle eyes. "I did not hold his anger," the Buddha said. "That is all." Reflection. And now, dear listener, maybe you know an angry person too, someone who throws sharp words, someone who tries to pull you into their storm, someone who wants your reaction. It can feel personal, it can feel unfair, it can feel like an attack. But remember the Buddha's question: if someone brings you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does it belong? An insult is like that. It only becomes yours with D when you take it into your heart, when you repeat it, when you argue with it, when you wear it like a heavy coat. But you do not have to. You can let it pass, not because you are weak, but because you are free. You can choose not to carry what was never yours. You can choose to breathe, to stay steady, to stay kind, and to leave the anger with the one who offered it. This does not mean you allow harm. It does not mean you stay in danger. It simply means you do not let their storm become your sky. So tonight, if harsh words come to you from a stranger, from family, from anyone, pause, feel your breath, and ask yourself softly, do I want to accept this gift? If the answer is no, then let it remain where it belongs, and return to your own peace. Rest now. You do not have to carry every word you hear. Some words are only noise, and you are allowed to stay quiet inside. The storm has passed. The tree stands still, and the peace returns. As you drift towards sleep or return to your day, remember this: you are the guardian of your own inner world. No one can place anger inside you without your permission. When harsh words come, pause, breathe, and gently decline the gift. Let your peace be your own. Thank you for being here with Voice of Compassion. Breathe in freedom, breathe out the noise. Namaste.